Today we are going to be talking about a brand new house, and there will be a lot of episodes coming after this one. I'm going to try to mix them up so you don't just get a focused review on every fragrance from this house for a while. We're going to try to sprinkle other niche and designer fragrances in it, but this is the start of a long series, probably a 20 video series on fragrances from the house of, at first I thought it was Etat Libre de Orange, but apparently it's French and it's pronounced Etat Libre d'Orange or something close to that. Strap up, we're going for a ride. All right, welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the afternoon. This is my fragrance journey. I don't consider myself a fragrance reviewer, though we review fragrances on this channel, because I don't want people to get in their heads that I'm some sort of lord of fragrance out here. I collect a lot of fragrances, I love a lot of fragrances, and I document my journey through them, testing them, finding resources, all the above. And my story hopefully will encourage you on your journey to get the most out of your fragrances, to figure out what you truly like, to avoid the FOMO and the traps and the different philosophies that don't really apply to you in your journey. This is about enriching, if that's even a word, your fragrance experience so you have a bunch of stellar fragrances, and me trying a bunch of fragrances so you don't have to. Again, this is from Etat Libre d'Orange. Close enough. I know I'm going to be a little bit off because it's French, and this is a fragrance called, which I could also be pronouncing it wrong, either Archives 69, Archives 69, or Archive 69, whatever. Let's get into it. I ordered the Big Dog 20 pack of fragrances from this house, so it's just about every fragrance they carry, with the exception of a few missing. I know nothing about this house. I've tried no fragrances from this house. This will be the first one. So let's dive right in. This is a unisex fragrance, and that's all I know. Initial thoughts, guys. Okay. Oh, wow. This is very off the back. Super unique, super weird type of fragrance. I hope it dries down to something better. What do I get? This is going to be tough, guys. I encourage you to look at Fragrantica and check out the notes. And I'm going to do my best with the fragrances from this house to properly get your nose into it, even though you guys probably don't have the fragrances in front of you. Okay. Is there any bit of write-up before I get into this? It's an oriental spicy fragrance for men and women, launched in 2011. Okay. What do I get? Man, this is weird, guys. This is like, I get a warm, spicy accord, almost like a hand soap, like a Dove hand soap that's like almost neutral and plain, but it has a kind of subdued, soapy, warm spice to it. Aromatic, extremely. Not a very sweet fragrance, 1 or 2 out of 10 in terms of sweet. It's somewhat off-putting. This is easily perfectly unisex. I don't get any sense of maleness or femaleness when I smell this. There's some kind of odd note in it that's not jiving well with me. But yeah, I think in a nutshell, this is almost has like a kind of aromatic, slightly oriental, like hand soap, not bar soap. Let's go ahead and switch screens here to the windowed screen. And let's just get right into it, guys. Top notes: pink pepper, paprika. That's what I'm smelling. Mandarin orange. Mid, we have plum, incense, and orchid. Base, we have camphor, which is some sort of green, benzoin, musk, and patchouli. Now, let me say that looking at this note breakdown is not very intimidating. However, if you were smelling this fragrance, the fragrance is somewhat intimidating because the paprika, the orchid, the incense, seem to be very out there. There's this contrasted blend of kind of like a peppery clean, but then it's got this kind of dark incensey vibe in the background, but then it's got this added boost of a slight savory sweet zing from orchid, and I get those notes more than the rest. Maybe 60-70% of the fragrance, 30-ish% being everything else from the pink pepper to the orange, the plum, the camphor, the benzoin, the musk patchouli. Why is that potentially an issue for some of you guys? Well, because the fragrance is kind of odd. It's not a familiar fragrance. You know, sometimes there's a familiar note, maybe sweet, maybe floral, or something where it's kind of like a good identifying point to tap into the fragrance and investigate. But this is like a very foreign kind of scent. This leads me to believe that maybe there's a cultural difference, you know, maybe a note of cumin or oud or ambergris or just something that people aren't quite, civet, musk, stuff that people aren't super familiar with in certain renditions. This feels very much like a kind of cultural set of accords that might not be too American. I could be totally wrong, guys, but I'm just trying to get your nose behind this. This is an odd smelling fragrance. It's trying to be reminiscent of, I don't know, freshness, floralish, peppery, clean, but there's this kind of very odd contrast between like orchid and paprika and incense and plum. That's just very kind of off-putting to my nose. You guys see me kind of squint as I go in and smell. It's not easy on the nose. It's trying to be, but there's a note that I don't quite jive with. Off the back, for me, guys, I don't want to say this, but I got to keep it real to you guys in terms of how I actually feel.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Not for me, guys. I give it like a 5 out of 10. And that's being very generous as a unisex fragrance. This is a any season, any reason fragrance, but what reason would you have? I have no clue. But I'm just saying, in terms of if you do like this fragrance at all, it will be one you could wear year round. I'm trying to just get my nose into it to give it some sort of compliments. You know what I'm saying? Like, gosh, there's a certain note in it. I don't know if it's the paprika, but it's just, I think it's the mix of the paprika with fruit and incense and orchid. You would think those normally go together, but on here, it's just got this weird kind of chemically off-balanceness to this attempt at like a hand soap, a very basic kind of almost neutral scentless hand soap. The accords here that it's saying it has is it's very top heavy, warm, spicy. Oh, the camphor. Let's look into this camphor real quick. It seems to be dominant in that via the description. Okay, natural, synthetic, popular, and weird. White crystals that smell like mothballs. This note is used to render a bracing, intensely green and pungent note. Yeah, I get it, but it's not a good smell, guys. Not a good smell. Yeah, it is green, but there's some sort of chemically note in there that is weird and off-putting. I'm not a big fan. As you guys can see, if we go back, it says it's heavy in the camphor, so maybe that's what's throwing me off here. Everything else is really nice in the fragrance, but that's a no for me, guys. I don't want to get in this too much. It's definitely an ageless, perfectly unisex type of fragrance, any season, any reason. A fragrance like this will run you, let's see what Lucky Scent's doing it for. Okay, so it looks like it's running somewhere between 50 to $100 for the, or no, around the 60 to 90 for the roughly 100 ml. Yeah, guys, this one isn't for me, man. Let's just wrap this up, guys. So far, I appreciate the uniqueness, but It's unique to a fault here, in my opinion. I won't be putting my nose to this anymore. We might hand this out to let some people try this, but yeah, 5 out of 10 for me. It's just weird, guys. We're going to toss this. This is the Scent Bubble. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Again, I wish I could have dove into this more for you guys, but it is just odd, man. It's got a very generic hand soap type of feel with an off-putting note. Probably that camphor, the paprika. Just a dud for me. And you guys see it, my voice is still coming back, so I don't want to waste too much energy on a review of a fragrance that I'm not really a fan of. Sucky for me. That might be the lowest rating I've given on this channel. Don't consider it. Don't pick it up. I don't even with an open mind, I don't think many people would really gravitate towards the generic nature of a fragrance like this for the price point. But that's just me. Let me know in the comments section below if you've tried this fragrance. Definitely stay tuned. Again, this was Et Libre, I guess, for lack of better pronunciation. Archives or Archives 69. And yeah, it is a Dudley-o. Hope you guys have a blessed week. This is the Scent Bubble signing off.